Oh, hello, and welcome back, everybody, to Journey to the Greg Star here on our ATM9 private server. You can join if you are a YouTube member or Twitch sub. We also have a public server that you can play on. IP's down in the description. If you become a YouTube member or Twitch sub, there'll be a supporter chat in my Discord, which is linked down below, where we can get you whitelisted. Guys, I woke up to something crazy this morning. One of our streams is taking off right now. And I just want to say hello and welcome everybody. I'm PumpKing. I'm a YouTube and Twitch streamer. And I hope you enjoy your time here. But guys, the plan today is we've just finished up, or we're right in the last portions of cleaning up our AE2 network. The big thing I need to do right now is just finish these last few items to be imported to the main network. Just a few to go here, and then we'll be done. We'll be good. I noticed we have like 400 iron hammers, which all just need to be trashed. And I think one of our patterns is bad. One of our patterns is not using substitutions, because without substitutions, it makes a new hammer every time. And I was thinking the best way to find that is going to be to put down a extended pattern provider. This is why we've used extended everywhere. Because if let's see, is it in here? Yes, our extended pattern access terminal. Let's throw this down. And we want to search not by output, but by input. And I'm going to type hammer. We're going to go through here and we're going to look if any of these are not using substitution with the hammer, because that's the only thing I can think of that would cause, not using substitutions. I think we found one of our troublemakers here. I'm just going to double check every pattern that's highlighted that is using our hammer. And then we'll edit this pattern to say use substitutions. Okay, let's put it back in a provider here. Yeah, we've been making good headway on the AE2 network. It's coming along. We need to still accelerate the rest of these assemblers, move our crafting processors up, and clean up this little mess right here. But since we're still going through this disk drive, I don't necessarily want to mess with it at this time. We'll just keep letting it be, but I'm pretty sure this one is done exporting all of these items. And today's Gregtech progress is going to be to try to get the finished MV diode is what I'm hoping for. I'm just checking what we left off here. I don't know how fast this export bus works, but I'm just going to grab a couple rows of all these high stack items. These are the ones we want stored on the network. They are actual resources we use. The idea being we're going to get all of the small loot from chests, all of this out of our main network for performance. It's looking pretty good so far though. Let's come over to the Gregtech area. And if we remember where we left off is we needed to start producing in low voltage sodium bisulfate dust. And we found the method of getting salt, because we need salt. That's what we need. And I don't want a quarry in the overworld. What we found is Gregtech salt. It comes from chemical reacting water with nether stars, right? We look at salt, come to the chemical reactor. Or what was it to get? Let's see. Where let me pull up the nether or gas tier, not nether star, guys, gas tier. Look at the uses in a chemical reactor and let me remember what we were producing. Oh, it's to get salt water, and then the salt water we could electrolyze to also get chlorine and hydrogen. And I believe sodium hydroxide can be a substitution for sodium bisulfate. Let me pull up sodium bisulfate. And we just want to confirm salt, saltpeter, salt, saltpeter. Okay, so it's not that one. Sodium hydroxide. It does work in LV, and it just requires the sulfuric acid. Perfect. So let's make a pattern for salt water over here using our gas tiers, because we're producing gas tiers, and the main output we want is salt water. So I'm going to, I'm curious. Is this a percent chance on these? No, they're guaranteed. They're guaranteed, so it honestly doesn't matter which one is our primary output. But I think I'm going to put salt water to our primary output. From salt water, we need to put it in an electrolyzer. Let's make a pattern here. Salt water being electrolyzed. Doesn't look like there's any percentage chances. I'm going to say this makes us sodium hydroxide. And I believe we have a bunch. We had some electrolyzers. Oh, there's one right here. Perfect. Our electrolyzer for sodium hydroxide. The sodium hydroxide then will produce our sodium bisulfate. Beautiful. I love when things start to come together. So let's make this pattern. And we don't want liquid sulfuric acid for mechanism. We want to actually use the sulfuric acid from Gregtech. I can't tell if the server's lagging, but I can't click that. What if I do this? Perfect. Put that in. That was in a... Gotta think for a second. Was that in a chemical reactor? Sodium bisulfate, chemical reactor. Perfect. Throw that in there. And now, theoretically, I should be able to request sodium bisulfate. It may take a minute here, as we only have the one chemical reactor and it has a lot of things to do. I can't speed it up at all. Look at that. Killed the power. I can barely do it 2 times. But let's just watch the craft. Ajakana is coming in on Twitch. Good morning, good day, or good night. Hope you're having a wonderful time wherever you may be in the world. Guys, we are live on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. There's also a link to my Twitch in the description. But oh boy. The Greg grows, guys. The Gregtech grows in the base. Getting bigger and bigger. Right now, we are waiting on the electrolyzer of the salt water. Perfect. And that'll start another chemical reaction. And just like that, we're getting sodium bisulfate. I'll grab 7 of them for the quest. Sodium bisulfate, which is what we have created. Then we need to electrolyze the sodium bisulfate. Easy enough, guys. Easy enough. Been bored a whole day. I got too much to play. I feel you there. I've got so much I want to be playing right now. But let's electrolyze this, and we're going to get the sodium persulfate liquid as well as hydrogen gas. Did it say it took 7? Oh, wow, it did. All right, let's put that in here. And let's get some sodium persulfate. It looks like we need at least 1 bucket for the quest. So we will request 1B, 1 bucket. Eventually, we'll size up the production of having multiple machines, probably once we're in HV. I think HV is a good point of they're actually good enough machines to bother making multiple of. But I need to get the sodium persulfate in a bucket, but all my buckets are in the one network. Okay, sodium persulfate and gallium dust quest is complete. Because don't forget, we were getting sodium persulfate and bisulfate out of a random processing chain. But let's put those away. And that finally brings us to making arsenic dust. It says if you get lucky, you may find rilgar, which can be turned into arsenic directly in a centrifuge. Cobalite can be electrolyzed directly to get arsenic, but that's at MV, and we're not MV yet. You'll get more arsenic for your cobalite by making arsenic trioxide dust and electrolyzing that. So we're trying to get arsenic. And we don't have the MV recipe, but we can do centrifuging rilgar dust, which I think is what we're going to do, because we should have some rilgar. The big thing is that I think some of it is still in our network cleanup area. But we'll fix that here in a minute. Something else we need to do is keep adding ores to be mined here, and I'm going to add rilgar. As well as if we look at the tag forge ore, let's just grab the top row here of coal, tin, silver, aluminum, redstone, and platinum. And then we have room after platinum for 4 more. So I'm gonna freeze my thing here. Let's see, there was the platinum. Oh, it just went really fast. That's why. We'll just wait for it to. We'll wait for it to catch up. And we're already going to need to prepare the next export bus for our Fortune 14 modular router. Grab a little bit of cable. And we'll just come up over the top. Put a bit of capacity till we have full rows, and then do acceleration cards. Beautiful. Slowly but surely, we'll get all these forge ores that we want to process out of there. But I don't think we did these. So aluminum, magnetite, osmium nether, niter, zinc, uraninite, sulfur, deep slate redstone ore from Gregtech. Yeah, we'll just grab a whole bunch of these. And we'll finish this export bus. So we got the first 4 here. And then keep going. And again, this is to Fortune 14. Thanks to our modular router breaker card with a super apotheosis pick in it. Which is pretty cool. But that gave us some Rilgar. And if we take the Rilgar, we're going to take the raw and I think macerate it. We have to get to the dust. Let's see, where is the processing tree? Which one gives us the most Rilgar dust? We also have a chance at antimony. We don't need sulfur, but I do like the idea of a chance at antimony and barite. I like that. And that's just going to be macerate, thermal, macerate. So let's favorite refined Rilgar and Rilgar dust and crushed and make some processing patterns. So we're going to macerate for crushed Rilgar ore. Wait, does it really give us 4 or was that just... Okay, so these are percent chances. These are percent chances. So we're going to tell the pattern. In fact, I'm not even going to do it through a pattern. I'm not even going to do it through pattern. We're going to passive process the Rilgar, I think is what we'll do. Let's come to our passive macerator and add Rilgar, raw Rilgar. Then we need to go to a thermal centrifuge, which I believe we have basic thermal. We're going to export our crushed Rilgar ore. Then we macerate one more time, right? Our refined Rilgar ore to make Rilgar dust. Beautiful. So now from this, we take the Rilgar dust and we're going to centrifuge it for arsenic. Beautiful. Or no, we're in the wrong thing. Is it electrolyze? Uh-oh. Let's read the quest one more time. Turn into arsenic directly in a centrifuge. Isn't that what I was doing? Rilgar dust, use, centrifuge. Oh, there it is. Centrifuge. We found it. We found it. I wasn't looking at the uses. That's the problem. But we get arsenic and sulfur if we centrifuge this, which I believe we have over here. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to passive process it. Again, I'm not going to pattern. Basic centrifuge, Rilgar dust. Now it may take a minute for the system to catch up because our first macerator is going to be full of the raw. But while this catches up, we can work on other processing chains. We're trying to make gallium arsenide. You'll need to turn this into small piles of gallium arsenide or set up a recipe to do that for you. So let's look at gallium arsenide, which is going to be create mixered on circuit 1. Perfect. Easy. We don't need to do it anywhere else. So create mixer. And we don't want the chemlib, we want the arsenic from Gregtech. Arsenic, oh, that's the chemlib. Arsenic dust Gregtech. So Gregtech, no program circuit. Come to our mixer here, and this is our circuit 1. Let's put that dust in there. Beautiful. I might pull all the realgar out just so that we can keep progressing here. I'm going to pull out all the raw realgar out of all these machines so that refined goes in. And once that's done, we're looking at diodes. Diodes are going to be assembled with small pile of arsenide. Okay, so we got LV, LV. What's the difference? Fine copper wire, fine copper wire. What is the difference here? Oh, it's just the fluid usage. We're going to use probably... Oh, liquid glass is like our only option. We need to make liquid glass. So first, we'll make small pile of arsenide dust as a pattern. Then, in an assembler, we're going to make a liquid glass fine copper wire pattern. And liquid glass, we can extract from glass. So let's make a pattern for that. And we need to come to our basic extractor and place liquid glass. Then the circuit itself required, doesn't look like it requires a processor. So this is going to be our none assembler diode. Put our arsenic dust in a molecular assembler. I'm going to claim some quest rewards here. And we should have... Uh-oh, why did we get a realgar crystal? Are we doing something wrong? Or did it process to arsenic? Perfect. We have 2 arsenic dust, which means we should be able to get a gallium arsenic. Let's just try straight for a diode. Let's see if the system says we have enough. Looks like we do. We really need to move away from using tools. We only have a wire mill right now, and I think our copper wire, fine copper wire, is not going through the wire mill. Let's take a look here. Come to our basic wire mill. Yeah, we are not producing fine copper wire. I'm going to grab that pattern. Let's see, where did I put this? So output fine copper. We're going to take this out. And we'll make a new fine copper wire pattern. Fine copper. In the wire mill from copper wire. And then our copper wire is probably also a... Well, that doesn't look like the right... Ah, here it is. Iron wire cutters. Let's change that. So, copper wire. We also want to use the wire mill. And slowly we'll get all the patterns moved to the wire mill, the bender, the press, all these good machines instead of making tools. It just takes time. So let's try that again to make a diode. It should be a lot less tools. Perfect. That's exactly what we want to see. Let's make a diode. That'll take a minute here, and then after the diode, we're on to good electronic circuits. Let's make a pattern for that. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see all blue. That means you have patterns for everything. But it can be in a circuit assembler. We never made a basic circuit assembler. So I'm not really producing these materials. We will instead do the direct crafting pattern. That uses 2 diodes. Is it cheaper? What's our benefit here? 3 circuits, 2 diode. 2 circuits, 2 diode. Ah, we save on a circuit. I think we might do that in the MV to HV tier, is what I'm thinking. All right, here we go. We got a diode. Oh, I didn't hold the gallium arsenide. Gallium arsenide. Quest, right? Oh, I didn't hold the arsenic either. Oh my gosh. We're failing arsenic. Okay, there is the quests. Let's see what we get for these. We get a little bit of real guard dust, a little bit of small pile, and random reward. Fine copper wire. Here it is, everybody. The good electronic circuit quest. We are on our way to MV. Good electronic circuit. Oh, we're missing resin. No. I need to turn off. We were getting rubber, or was it liquid rubber? No, glue. We probably have plenty of glue. So I will instead wait for some sticky resin from our farm. Why don't we bone mill this? Speed this process up. Oh, wow. It really doesn't want to grow. Can you not bone mill these trees, or did we mess up the farm? Why isn't it growing? What doesn't it like? Let's put a new sapling. Man, rubber trees do not like bone mill. Can I instead... we super bone mill it? Okay, it didn't want to grow at all, so it really doesn't like that, unless there is a chance you just can't bone mill rubber at all. Let's find out. No, something has broken in our growth space here. Is there ghosted blocks, perhaps? Or is it the item collector? Ah, it was the item collector. Fascinating. That's why we weren't getting any more sticky resin. We placed that item collector and the farm broke. I see now. All right, so we should now be getting sticky resin. We got 7 from that tree, and then this should grow pretty fast. We got 5 lily pads of fertility. I think that's enough. In the meantime, hi Fallen, hope you're doing great. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a great day as well. Let's continue here. So these should be done exporting everything we set. Yeah, so now we're down to the final parts to export. And one of the things we need to export is all these hammers into a trash can. Let's do that. Grab another export bus. And I'll just put that here. Put this to fuzzy. Grab one of our 400 hammers. That was probably what was making our network perform so badly. And we should see the hammers dissipate. Now let's go ahead and clear these export buses of the items they were exporting. Double check our cells. Yeah, we are good. I'm going to put 2 more of these over here. And let's export some more items. So I want to grab 3 rows. I do want all these items in the main network. Grab that. Should see the mega cell fill up pretty quickly here. And then we'll grab another 3 rows once it is done. And then as you see, we'll go down, but then we start to hit all these random materials. I guess I could pick some of these low ones we want in the network really fast. Let me just grab a few, put them in the main network. And now we've got room for another row, like so. Perfect. We are cleaning up. It's looking good. Grab our extended inscribers, grab the chests. This is where we need to just pick and choose some of the things we want to pull over to the network. I specifically want all the seeds that are in here that are mystical ag. So let me actually @mist and grab our essences and seeds that got left behind in the transfer. Got a few more. I do want my machines here and the wand and the master infusion crystals. Yes, yes. Want those, that, and then we can leave everything else in here, honestly. I got a question. How are you handling NBT in your system? Cesar, let me show you my little creation I call my on-demand NBT item storage. I'm pretty proud of it. Came up with it myself. But this little, oh, a little bit of lag. This little doohickey over here, right here, is our NBT item storage. Because here's the thing. Here is the thing. There is an amazing cell to store NBT items called a disk drive. But there's a caveat. Wow. Instead of taking up a bunch of storage space, it saves it in a text file. The network, your AE2 network, when it calls that disk drive, causes lag because of how long the disk drive is. The notepad. The text file, I should call it. So what we're doing is we have a subnet where we are tag export busing forged swords, bows, pickaxes, tools, armor, as well as any that didn't quite work with tags such as netherite gloves and skeleton spawners. Here, all of our NBT items get stored, and they are not visible on the main network, so they don't cause lag. Then, what I've set up is a ME toggle bus with an emission crafting of a random item that I chose, which I chose my sword, as well as the export buses are redstone controlled, so we don't loop. What this means is that if I start crafting this, these redstone emitters flip, and these NBT items... Oh, hey! Saradu's subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. The toggle bus flips, and this cell is then on the main network. We can grab items out of the NBT and then cancel the craft and it closes. Let me demonstrate that. Let's say we're building a mob farm. My main network right now has no spawners in it, but that gives me a really fast AE2 network pull-up time. But we need the spawners temporarily. So I'm going to type my Supremium Sword craft, and when I craft this, our emitters turn on. You see the cable has now connected, and we have access to our spawners. We can now grab the spawner we want, and when we're done with that, we'll cancel the craft of the sword. Our emitters turn off, and it is no longer on the main network, and now it's fast again. And that's how we're doing it. But whether you do the separate network like I did, the biggest thing is that you store NBT items in disk drives. That disk UUID leads to essentially a text file in the server world. And it's the best way to store NBT items. The official All the Mods 9 Discord. Let me see if I can show you guys. This is why we made this system. Is in the official All the Mods 9 Discord server, or All the Mods 9. There is a pinned message. Let me find it here. That mentions storing your NBT items in disk drives. Oh, it looks like it is no longer pinned, I don't think. Okay, it's no longer pinned, so I can't find it as easily. But that's where we learned about using the disk drive storage. But again, the caveat: if this drive is visible on your main network, your terminal load times. Do you see how fast I open the terminal and the items appear? Notice how much worse it is when that disk drive is visible. So we'll make the drive visible. Comes online. Now watch this. Do you see that delay? We'll type spawners here. Watch the ores. My whole game lags. Watch the ores generating in the background. The whole game lags pulling it up. So that is why we do a separated storage with my little invention of on-demand network allocation. It works great, and because I'm a total AE2 nerd, it's my favorite mod. I theory craft and work on things of pushing the mod to its limit every day. And there's nothing I hate more than a slow AE2 system. I want items. The second I pull up my terminal, I want to see my items. And that is why we have been doing cleanup here. Hope that helps, Cesar. Hope that gives you a little insight as to storing your NBT items. Now, I'm just going to grab a few more things I want out of here that I know we're going to want on the main network, such as the cables. I'm not going to worry about all these miscellaneous blocks. Grab any stray processors, some conduit. There's our 1M crafting storages. Ooh, all of our templates are probably in here. Let's grab all of our templates. The important ones. Oh, Czar, you can copy my setup anytime. That's what I'm here for. I absolutely love helping others play modded Minecraft. And I hope to eventually be large enough that people can reference my designs of, this is the PumpKing network allocator type of deal. That'd be really cool. But guys, our little wait should have given us enough sticky resin. Oh, also, we need to now disable these export buses because we don't want our garbage items to be... We don't want this garbage cell being called. This is our garbage cells, I'm calling it, which is storing all of the random items we've gotten from looting. Just, I'm talking, let's look at it. Like there's 11,000 items in this cell of just garbage. But you never know if you might need something. Let's throw these in here and put our, let's see, we had some space here. I'm going to move that there and put this bulk item cell of our copper ore in my extended drive. That is officially the finishing of cleaning up our AE2 network. It is now much cleaner. We'll see that if we look at just stored items, instead of being able to scroll for ages, we now have an end point. Boom, boom, easy. I'm happy to see it. And hey, thanks for subscribing to the channel, Cesar. I appreciate it. Let's grab, finally, our MV, what was it called? Good electronic circuit. Let's see if we can craft one. Oh, electronic. Oh, did we not put the pattern? Oh, I didn't. I put it to here. I swear we did that pattern. Oh, we did, guys. Don't make the mistake I just did. Don't forget when you switch to stored items to switch back to stored and craftable. A little bit of a mistake. All right, it looks ready to craft. I don't like how many tools it's going to use, but we're slowly fixing that tool usage. Let's craft. Let's see our system go to work. The wire mill, we could probably accelerate a little bit. Make sure we don't overwhelm it. What else would we need to accelerate? That's really about it. We could do the alloy smelter a little bit. But please, and thank you, allow me to enter the tier of medium voltage. I'm ready. I'm so ready. Boom. You love to see it. You love to hear it. You love to hear a chapter complete noise. And we are now in medium voltage. Oh, it's good to be here. Remember, overclocking runs a recipe twice as fast, but at 4 times power consumption. As you start placing machines, you can put the old ones in a macerator to reclaim some of the ingredients, and that is what we're going to do. Absolutely. Now, you can find raw aluminum in the end, and raw aluminum just about everywhere. Alternatively, you can acquire aluminum by processing a variety of items like bauxite. Well, we have aluminum. Let's turn in that quest. Let me just get... It looks like we're going to be using a lot of aluminum this age, so I'm going to preemptively craft about 20,000 ingots here. There is the aluminum alloy quest. Advanced steam turbine generator. Might be time to build another boiler. We don't need to do this. So if we have a look, we know it's about 2, isn't it 2 FE per EU, right? If we come back to the getting started and the energy. Yeah, you can convert to EU, but I want to know. I think it's about 2 to 1. We are still generating more power with power than this generator, this turbine generator would produce. It's an optional quest, so we're not going to do it. We are instead going to use an MV energy converter. And that's probably going to be like the first pattern we want to make here. So let's open the quest log. Let's favorite the MV converter, and I'm probably going to do 4 amp again until we need higher amperage. Since we are doing 1 converter per machine, let's make a bunch of patterns. Oh, we have that. I accidentally grabbed the 8A. Let's grab the 4A MV energy converter. Oop. Oh gosh. Do that, and then 4 amp. And recipe it. So we already are making 4X red alloy cable processors. Those 2 of the recipe are done. But does this have... No, this does not have a assembler recipe. Yeah, woo, says Hajakanas. MV machine hole. We got wrought iron plates, which we already know how to make. Let's keep going through here. We need aluminum plates, and we want to move away from hammers. So we really need to make our bender. But we don't have the bender at this very moment. So we will instead do a engineer's hammer, 1 ingot, 1 plate pattern. Boom. Then let's go back to the machine hole. We need 1X copper cable, which is going to be an assembler with liquid rubber is what we'll do. Let's make this pattern. And what circuit was that? It's not in a circuit. It is just in the assembler. So that's going to be our none assembler. Let me make sure that didn't require... Oh, it requires MV. Or no, it doesn't. It can be ULV. Okay. And then we need liquid rubber, which I don't think we have a pattern for liquid rubber yet, do we? Yeah, liquid rubber. We want this one from Gregtech. And we'll do it probably in the chemical reactor. No circuit, just chemical reactor, sulfur and raw pulp. Gives us 1.29 buckets. Let's come to one of our chemical reactors and place this here. After the liquid rubber, let's keep following our pattern tree here. We placed the copper cable, right? We need MV machine casing, which does have an assembler recipe of aluminum plate on 8. Should we do that instead? 8 and aluminum plate. Take away the 8 and we'll come over here to an assembler and we'll make this 8. Change this to 8. And I'm going to get these other patterns. These are all the crafting patterns. I'm going to get them placed so that we can actually see if we check the 4A, we see the MV machine hole. We see all that is blue, and that is blue as well. Perfect. Last step then of the converter is we need 4X copper cable, which we'll probably just do in an assembler. It's ultra low voltage liquid rubber 4X cable in a none. So theoretically, we should be able to request MV converters. Let's try to get one of them. I love to see a machine coming together, but I did realize we need to come to this machine and output items automatically. There we go. Then we're just waiting on liquid rubber, which is coming from this chemical reactor. While it's crafting, let's look at more of the quests. There's a craft giant, so passive aluminum from the clay line. It is optional, but also gives us the quest for the advanced macerator, centrifuge, and electrolyzer. We may do that. Advanced extruder, which would be extruders force ingots into various shapes. It's often cheaper to use the extruder. We're probably going to make that, as well as the molds. We need to start producing plant balls. 8 plants in a compressor will create a plant ball. You can also get these as a chance output from the centrifuge when making glue. So how, in that case, do we have plant ball? Because we've been centrifuging. Doesn't seem so. Because I was centrifuging sticky resin, a lot of it. I'm surprised we didn't get a plant ball. But any 8 plants in a compressor, and if we look, we should have a crap ton of... Oh, the carrots aren't wired up. Here's what we'll do. We'll wire up the carrots, because I think the carrots can be plant balls in a compressor. Oh, use. There we go. And compressor, we get plant ball. I like using the carrots because it's the only product from the farmers we have. Let's come over here. And I believe these are all done. So let's take their upgrades out. We need to reset these so that they have no NBT data. We're going to try to be smarter with our AE2 network now. No NBT data. Perfect. And let's grab our 4 carrot farmers and place them on the input to our AE2 network. Okay, so now we're going to be getting tons and tons of carrots. Let's make a processing pattern of plant ball. Oh, use. Plant ball in compressor. We should have a compressor already in our starting Gregtech area. Right here. And we'll put plant ball. And why don't we request 10 of them to start. Looks like our 4 amp MV is done. There's that quest. And a big thing we need to do now, guys, is we need to upgrade before we make any of the new machines, like that we haven't even seen what they do yet. We need to upgrade. I want to like advanced macerator, advanced alloy smelter, all this good stuff. Which that seems to come from the tree of the clay line. Put water on the left and lava on the right in the world, then insert single diorite in the rock crusher and watch it make more diorite for you. Okay. Well, let's look at what we need for an advanced rock crusher, and I bet you it's going to be not so simple. So I'm already seeing, yeah, MV piston, MV electric motor. We have the MV machine hole in the copper. That's good. MV electric piston, we have some of the recipes for. But we need aluminum rod, which we really need the extruder, but we're just not there yet. We'll have to just replace this aluminum rod pattern later. For now, we will file and aluminum. I like to place patterns as we go so that we can see what is craftable, what is not. So we need aluminum gear and the motor here. Let's come back into this recipe. And let's do the small aluminum gear. I'd love to use these other machines, but tools it is for now. And then we need a motor. We have recipes for everything else minus magnetic steel. And magnetic steel, we may have to actually make a polarizer for. We never made a polarizer. So let's make the processing pattern. Place the other patterns we just made. Oh, it's lagging. There we go. And let's get a polarizer of advanced. So we got to make this machine right now. And we just need 2x copper wire, which I will probably... Which one's probably from this recipe? Let's grab ourselves a polarizer. And this will be our first MV machine we're going to hook up. So we'll grab that 4 amp for it, as well as a point if we might, or actually, where do we have? Okay, we have space right here. And we already have universal cable. So I'm going to grab a universal. Oh, we ran out of that cable. I'm just going to grab a point then. I'm going to grab a point for now. Grab our advanced polarizer, which was a quest. Beautiful. And then magnetic steel rod's a quest. Perfect. Perfect. I love when things start to come together, guys. We're really starting to cook. The Gregtech is starting to support itself, which is great. Let's put down our polarizer, our energy converter, a flux point, and I'm going to rubber mallet this to turn it on. Then this needs to input and output same side and give me magnetic steel rod. So magnetic steel rod. This is a quest, so let's just get one of them. Perfect. And now we should be able to make the rock crusher. Beautiful. I love when all the patterns work. Makes me so happy inside. Love when a plan comes together. That'll be the rock crusher, and then we'll go for an advanced macerator. And we're going to replace all our other macerators. If we can. We need more resources for the electronic circuits, unfortunately. So we may be a little short at this time. This is where we then let the base run for a day or two. Let's get an advanced macerator and as well as queue some more 4 amp MV. Can I do 4? I can. Perfect. Okay, there is the rock crusher. Gives us some diorite and some wire. And it's kind of interesting how it says it works. So it says auto output into a buffer, chest barrel. Yeah, okay. Transit. Oh, great. We're in the wrong one. Put water on the left and lava on the right. But before we do that, guys, do you remember what we needed MV for? Why we need another energy converter? We needed MV to gather nether gas. We want nether gas because nether gas or nether air. Nether air, if we remember right, it centrifuges into carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide, and we need that sulfur dioxide. But it was MV. It was MV, guys. Everything looks like it's waiting on the wire mill. We should probably make an advanced wire mill as one of the first projects here. Going a little over the episode length. I'm really filling the Greg, you know? I'm filling the Gregtech, so we're just gonna go strong here. I love filling the Greg. Put that away. Why don't we set up this rock crusher somewhere, probably in the passive line, right? Wouldn't that be like the best for this? Is just to be in the passive line? Why don't I grab some glass? Which we don't have any glass made. Let's make like 50,000 glass. I'm going to grab some of it and I'm going to go like so. With our advanced rock crusher. Go water, lava. And it said put diorite in it, right? Let me read exactly. Does it consume the diorite? No, it says put it in and watch it make more diorite. We don't really need this, but I love passive machines. I really do. We're still waiting on the wire mill currently. It's got a lot to do here. I'm going to try to super speed it. We'll watch the energy. Watch it speed through. We've got plenty of time. We've got 47 hours in our time in a bottle. And as I've told everybody, use your time in a bottle for Gregtech. That's where you want it, man. That is where you need it. Okay, and then it's got to make fine wires. It's got to make a bunch of other... Got to make just a bunch of stuff. Fine copper wire. It's got to do brass wire, I think. It's got to do silver. It's going to take a minute here. Let's see. 4-amp converters just need the silver wire, the wood pulp, the phenolic printed circuits. Everything needs this assembler right now, it seems. Which I should probably block input. Oh, don't accelerate the assembler. So that uses way too much power. Can accelerate our wire mill. Okay, wire mill's done, and we have an advanced macerator and one 4-amp energy converter. Why don't we do... Why don't we do, which macerator should we do first, guys? Probably the one we have always running, right? The one always running. So I'm going to break this converter, this macerator, and I'm going to replace it with a 4A MV, and this macerator, set it to input from the left, well, output to the top, input from the left, and mallet this, which I keep putting the mallet away right when we need it. Now, I think with this basic macerator, this is where we then, oh, it's getting picked up by a magnet. This is where we can now macerate the macerator to get resources back. Arc furnace seems to give tin, annealed steel, and wrought versus rubber, steel dust, tin dust, copper dust. Oh no, that is. Should we arc furnace it with 1 bucket of liquid oxygen? No, none of those recipes are things we really need. I'd rather just macerate it, get some nah, we'll arc furnace it. We'll arc furnace. We had a look at that. It was oxygen. Where's our, do we have an arc furnace? Oh, we do have a cutter. Ooh, I didn't realize that. I swear we have an arc furnace somewhere. Unless, if we don't have the recipe. Yeah, okay, we don't have the recipe. So, I'm just going to macerate this bad boy. Oh. And let's get our Nether Air coming into the base. Grab a MV. And a... I think we already have a point out there. Was it... I don't know if we put a waystone. I know it's by the thingy waystone. And up over this way. Oh, we did waystone it. We have a waystone called Nether Shenanigans. That's right. So, we messed up. We need MV going into this machine. Oh, it blew up immediately. Because, I'll tell you why it blew up. We needed an MV air collector. Was it called air collector? Yeah, we need an MV air collector. Oh boy, look at those items. This might be a little expensive. Okay, we can make all of these parts, but we need MV electric pumps. Now, if we look here, we're going to have to go with the one that is rubber. Let's grab that. We're going to need a bronze rotor. Extruder, don't have either of those, so we'll grab it here. As well as bronze screw, bronze bolt. Let's throw these patterns in here. We'll use tools till we make the machines, and then we'll pull the prior patterns out. If we look at the advanced air collector in the pump, in the rotor, we need a bronze ring. Come back. We need normal still fluid pipe. And is that it? Was that? Let's try. We'll type air and try to get a advanced gas collector. Says it can craft. Let's give it a shot. Oh, look, we're getting duplicate tools. We're gonna need to fix patterns, guys. We have patterns to fix. We're getting duplicate wire cutters. So we know that one of the wire cutter recipes is wrong. I'm going to look for input of wire cutter. Substitute, 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 and... oh, all those ones say substitute. I wonder what the misbehavior is then. What about the files? Substitute, substitute, substitute. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Oh, we got so many with files. Those are all right. Then it's got to be the saws. It's got to be the saws, right? The saw has one that's not substituting. No, they're all there. I don't know. This is why we need to switch to the other machines that manipulate ingots. Let's come back here and we'll wait for our machine. It'll be done any moment. Just has to wire cut. Let's look if Nether Air has to be processed at MV. So centrifuge, MV. So this basic centrifuge isn't going to work either. None of this basic stuff. We can put a MV energy converter. But we need to get this set up for the sulfur dioxide before we run out. There's our gas collector. And it needs to be on circuit. Let's see. Nether Air. Circuit 2. Beautiful. And then we need a centrifuge of the advanced tier, which we have all the patterns for. Beautiful. We love to see it. But the question is, do we have the resources? Oh, we do. Beautiful. Beautiful. Love to see it. A lot of wires to cut. Let's go accelerate that. A lot of wires. We could do 8x, right? Yeah, there we go. This MV is when we will transition to fully machines for parts rather than tools. And HV is where we'll start making duplicate lines. So multiple lines of ore processing, all that good stuff. It's going to be fantastic. Let's accelerate this a little more. I want to finish the episode with getting sulfur dioxide from Nether Air. That's what I want to do. Also looks like we need to accelerate the smelters. Oh, I may have gone too hard. Nope, we're good. Ooh, I was a little worried. How we looking? Still need a bunch of wires, so we'll keep that accelerated. Glass tubes are almost done. I don't think... we'll accelerate. We'll accelerate. Here they come. Let's head back to the Nether. And we are going to export this Nether Air. We can preemptively set this up to export out this corner. Auto export. We're just waiting on the diodes. Which I guess we can try 2xing the assembler. Hopefully that speeds it up, because it's also got to make the good electronic circuits. And we'll wait for this to finish, then we'll centrifuge our Nether Air. Super stoked for this. It's gonna be building up resources for us, which is exactly what we want. The thing I'm gonna add here is I want this chunk loaded when we're not online. So we're gonna need a spatial anchor and a energy, or we'll use the controller. We have better luck connecting to controllers than just energy acceptors. Just gotta wait for the fluix dust. Here's our advanced centrifuge, which is receiving Nether Air, and we're gonna have it output it. Oh, is it already set to auto? Let me auto and like that. So Nether Air comes in, takes a while to process. Let's speed it up a little bit if we can. Let's just see if it all goes to our private frequency 2 dimensional tank. Gonna put this all should be within one chunk. We're gonna put a controller and a spatial anchor to load this chunk. Non-entity ticking. This is just block entities. It's exactly what we want. But it looks like the fluids went through, which means if we look at Nether Air being centrifuged, we should be getting carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide. I think this is our first carbon monoxide recipe. Yep, carbon monoxide and sulfur dioxide we should get more of. We're at 361. Let's watch this finish a... Oh, I accelerated it too much, so it's going to break. Possibly. Yep, it broke. I accelerated it too hard. But it looks like it's working. There is nothing in the fluid section. That means it all went to our dimensional tank, which we have in the processing line over here. Being imported into the base, and we have chemical storage in, or liquid storage in supercells, as well as megacells. Let's see which ones it's using right now. I'm a little curious. I'm assuming the mega fluid storage cell, because it's now at 14 of 18 bytes. I'm also curious what our obsidian's up to. Our obsidian, we have 2.6x. 2.6x so far, which is about 1 million obsidian. We're not processing any more obsidian right now. That's going to be set up as we continue to clean up this cluster. But I wanted to do this journey to the Gregstar episode with Gregstar progress. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this morning stream. If you did, consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. I'll catch you all next time. Have a good one.